Today we will be replacing the water pump and fan clutch on a GMC Envoy. We will also be answering the question, what is a weep hole? How do you know your water pump is failing? And what are the signs of a bad fan clutch? For this service, you will need the following: Powerbuilt Kit 127, which you can rent from AutoZone. They will charge you a $100 deposit and refund it once you return the kit. ACDelco fan clutch 15401.33. ACDelco water pump 251.731. Next, remove the top radiator hose clamp with a flathead screwdriver. Remove the top two 10mm bolts at the top of the fan shroud. Compress the radiator hose clamp with pliers and slide it away from the engine. Remove the top radiator hose from the engine. Place a 36mm wrench on the nut of the fan clutch. You can use a breaker bar for extra leverage. Next, take the 68mm wrench and place it on the 4 bolts of the water pump. You'll need to break the nut. Do this by pushing this 6mm wrench clockwise and the 36mm wrench counterclockwise at the same time. Remove the wiring harness from the fan clutch. Use a flathead screwdriver to disengage the cooler lines from the fan shroud. Once the nut has been broken, unscrew it with the 36mm wrench.
Bam, I got it.
Remove the 4 water pulley pump bolts with a 13mm wrench.
Well, it's people on YouTube say like it's so much easier if you just cut this part.
The upper
and it slides
radiator
right
hose
out.
inlet will cause a clearance issue
No,
for pulling out the fan.
It serves no purpose.
Unscrew the top 2 fan clutch bolts. This will allow you to remove the fan while pulling the shroud out.
Dad, you don't have a Sawzall, do you? Yeah, it's like a kind of like a motorized saw.
Here's a comparison of the 13-year-old fan clutch versus the new one. The ACDelco OEM fan clutch is a rebranded Behr part, so the OEM part is made by Behr. Use pliers to remove the fan clutch from the shroud. Next, use the 3/8 drive to relieve the tensioner pulley and pull the serpentine belt off the water pump pulley. You can see the trail of coolant from a weep hole of the water pump. Remove the 6 10mm bolts that secure the water pump. Place a catch pan below the pump as any remaining coolant will leak out. Here's a comparison of the 13-year-old water pump versus the new one. Remove the plastic thread protector from the new water pump. Place a paper towel within the water pump cavity and sand off any remaining scale from the mating surface before reattaching the gasket and new water pump. Tighten the 10mm water pump bolts to 89 inch-pounds as stated in the Haynes manual. Pour your salvage coolant into a coolant reservoir. Clean the water pump pulley and tighten the 13mm bolts to 18 foot-pounds as stated in the Haynes manual. Use the 3/8 drive again to relieve the tension on the tensioner pulley, and place the serpentine belt back onto the water pump pulley. Place the new fan clutch onto the fan clutch shroud by using only one of the bottom 10mm bolts. Slide the fan clutch shroud back in. Torque the four 10mm fan clutch bolts to 20 foot-pounds as recommended in the Haynes manual. Make sure the shroud lines up with the bottom brackets. Use a flathead screwdriver to place coolant lines back into place. Tighten the nut with a 36mm wrench. Remove any skill before reattaching the top radiator hose. Tighten both clamps back onto the top radiator hose. Torque a fan clutch nut to 41 foot-pounds as stated in the Haynes manual. Reattach the fan wiring harness. Start the car and look underneath the front of the engine to make sure the new water pump is not leaking. How do you know your water pump is failing? Water pumps are designed to release coolant from the weephole once they leak. This is intentional so the pump has an immediate failure. Tighten the top two 10mm fan shroud bolts. The weephole is designed to warn you when the water pump seal is about to fail. The weephole is intended to allow extra lubricant from the pump bearings to drip out of the water pump housing. What are signs of a bad fan clutch? You can run an OBD2 scanner such as Blue Driver. A P0495 code reports a high cooling fan clutch speed, which could mean you need a new fan clutch. The parts and prices are listed below. More reviews saved a total of $1,800 on this repair. Thanks for watching.